Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello students, I am Shivika Khurana. Today we will be discussing the second chapter, Acid, Bases and Salt of Chemistry. We have divided this chapter into three parts for your convenience. The first part had the properties, physical and chemical, of acids and bases. The second part discusses how to measure acidity based on pH value and basicity as well. And moving on to the third part, we will discuss what are the common compounds which are made using NaCl, that is salt, common salt, and what are their uses. So let's begin with the first part. In the first part, we will be discussing what is acid, what is base, what are their chemical properties, and how do they react with different substances. But before beginning with that, we need to understand what is an indicator. So indicators are those substances which change their color when they come in contact with acid or base. Substances which change their color to show acidity or basicity are called as indicator. The first type is natural indicators. Natural indicators are those which are present in the environment as they exist. For example, red cabbage juice or turmeric. These substances change their color when they react with acid or bases. The second type is synthetic indicators are created in labs. For example, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Phenolphthalein changes its color and methyl orange also changes its color when they come in contact with acid or base. The third type is olfactory indicators. Olfactory indicators change their smell when they come in contact with acid or base. For example, if an onion comes in contact with the base, it loses its pungent smell of an onion. Similarly, vanilla extract also loses its smell when it comes in contact with the base. So we have understood that there are some substances called as indicators which indicate the property of acid or base based on their color or smell. They can be chemical or they can be naturally existing. They can change their color or they can change their smell. Most commonly, we use those indicators which change their color because it is more easy to observe that change. Now, another indicator which is very important is litmus. Litmus is also a naturally occurring substance. It is made from lichens. It changes its color from red to blue when it comes in contact with the base. So if you take a red litmus paper, it will turn blue if we put a drop of base on it. Similarly, if you take an acid and you put it on a blue litmus paper, it will turn red. So anything, that is how we will define acids and bases. Acid is anything that turns a blue litmus paper red, and base is anything that turns a red litmus paper blue. So these are the two substances that we will be discussing in today's class. They do react together to form the third compound salts, but we will be discussing more about that later on. First, let's talk about the physical properties of acids and bases. So acids are those substances which are corrosive in nature. When we put them on something, then they burn or destroy the surface of that thing. Acids are sour in taste. Acids are electrolytes. That means they will conduct electricity in a solution with water. And they create H plus ions. We will discuss that more as we go on. Bases, on the other hand, are bitter to taste. They have a soapy touch and they are also electrolytes and also conduct electricity, but they make OH minus ions. We will study this also, the ionization process, later on. Some examples of acid can be H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Some examples of bases can be KOH, potassium hydroxide, NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So let's study the chemical properties of these now.